including the leaders of each group right here. When they went face to face, Chris Jericho and MJF, if you were following along watching the show, I mean, MJF said it. He goes, if another one of you fat white trash hicks want to come in the ring, I'll beat your ass too. And we found out later on that a fan did try to come into the ring. And if you see some of the video, Jericho, I think, threw a punch. And so totally unnecessary. But that just shows the power that MJF has, how bad you hate him and how bad you want to beat him up, because he is that damn good. He's that damn good at being a heel, and he's that big of a prick. And, you know, he's right. Everyone wants a piece of the king of AEW and the MJF rub. You know, I want to punch MJF in the face no more than any other person, obviously, because he lives, breathes, and is this arrogant, scheming heel and guy who just is such a douche to everything he does. And so he is perfect at what he does. He's rubbing everyone the wrong way, including the fans, to make it enough to get arrested. And so they got that close, man. So it was a face-to-face stipulations where Jericho has to accept any stipulation. He was going to accept any stipulation. I like it all in. You know, what you did to the dictator John Moxley, I'm going to do to you. The tables have turned. And Jericho said that he's the god of the battle, god of the war of AEW. And so he'll do whatever it is to get to MJF. I don't know if it was just that fan threw him off, but Jericho still was smooth as butter, but he just didn't seem fully into it to me. I don't know if that, like, you know, he usually eats up the crowd more. I know he silenced them, said Y2J is dead. That was a while ago, and he ate into the crowd a little bit, but I don't know. It wasn't the same hysteric, like, crowd pump up or Jericho that we're used to seeing. I don't know. But he was still smooth, delivered a killer Judas effect, and MJF literally was out.
I mean, MJF's like, dude, that dude he's as must see as it gets in pro wrestling.
You're right.
Every time he's on, man, you want to hear what he has to say. Just his mannerisms are always phenomenal. He just gets it. It's so obvious that, you know, he's authentic when he says that he's a student of this game. That he loves pro wrestling business. It pains me to say it, but he's every bit as good as he says he is. He's that talented at what he does. And you know, you said, like, okay, like, it did feel maybe like to you, and this says a lot coming from an inner circle mark like you.
That's sure.
It felt like Jericho was rattled a little bit with the way things played out or whatever. I thought it went smoothly. I didn't catch any of that really. But it's a testimony to MJF, just like these two guys are the pros.
Sure.
When things could go off the rails, they don't with them. They always have a way of keeping things on course, and delivering a home run segment. I think that this was an absolutely fun and intelligent little promo battle that these guys had. You mentioned MJF, you know, calling on the history of Jericho and really how awful the inner circle was in their early days.
Right.
And all the hell that Jericho put Moxley through in order to get an opportunity. Sure. I really loved how MJF played off of that history and leaned into it. And, you know, as far as acknowledging Jericho's past, and letting that past come back to haunt him. I think that, again, this is another example. Every time that MJF gets an opportunity to have some real mic time, his promos are not only just like, you know, stuff that get you to hate him. You know, he's not just cutting promos that like make you despise him, which he's good at doing that, but he's also really just an intelligent dude. I mean, just talking about the trials that Jericho's going to have to go through and interweaving the mythology stuff in here. It was fun. You know, it was fun to have that layer of the story. And it makes me intrigued to see what's going to come ahead. And not only does Jericho have to beat every member of MJF's choosing, he didn't make it clear that it had to be a member of the Pinnacle. We'll see. I mean, obviously, more than likely, that's what it feels like. But, you know, 5 opponents of MJF's choosing. and in a stipulation of his choosing. Really intelligent stuff by MJF, and how many times do we talk about this? The trail of breadcrumbs that we just want to keep coming back for more and more and more. This is going to be that story, right? This is just right now. They just placed the first little breadcrumb, and now we're going to kind of want to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. This feud is beautiful.
Can't wait.
This is beautiful. I mean, again, think about it. For a feud where you have a guy who's gone 0-2 in the one-on-one matchups, you still have immense.
Sure.
You have a ton of intrigue on what's going to happen because of the way that they played this out. I thought this was really good stuff. Home run segment for me, really good, like from both sides. And MJF getting knocked out to end the segment is always a way they make the fans go home happy on that. That was a fantastic way to wrap things up and shut that punk up.